Cut my music, cut my music. Welcome to the channel. The name's Captain Crush. We got 2 NBA games today and a dumpster fire of an NFL game tonight. But boy, we got to dig through it and see if we can find some value. Are we going to find value? We'll have to wait and see. Can we get a sweep? Maybe. I don't know. I'm planning on it. I hope so. We'll just have to wait and see. But the 2 plays for NBA today, it's not going to be a secret. It's not going to be a surprise. It's not going to be shocking at all. It's going to be straight up cookie cutter because sometimes the simplest answer is the right answer. And today we're going to do that to make these contests and hopefully they're hitting. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? All right, so most of you know today is the in-game tournament, the in-season tournament today, and today is pretty much the second to last day of it, okay? These 2 teams play, and then the winners will play each other. Now, here's the deal. The Indiana Pacers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. It's starting earlier than I anticipated. It starts at 4 Central, but it's also a whopping 256-point total. It's insane. So, whenever you make projections, any projection model you use, any fantasy site you use, it has to account for that point total. How does it get to that point total? So guys like Halliburton, Giannis, Lillard, Turner, they're all going to be inflated. So you need to keep that in mind. My own brothers in Christ in my Discord, my own projection models, they're all inflated because of that massive point total, folks. These computer programs try to figure out how are they going to get to that many points, and it simulates the projections accordingly. So a guy like Hallie, a guy like Giannis, a guy like Dame Time Lillard, they're going to be going high in the mix on the model projections. So keep that in mind. Buyer beware, seller beware. You've been warned. If the game soars under, then so are your slips. You understand what I'm telling you? Hopefully, we get scenario number 1. We go behind door number 1 and we get that high point total 256 come to fruition. It soars over and all of our overs cash. So last night, I put out a list. I was up through 2-3 in the morning last night cooking some value, found some, but today that value no longer exists. But we do have some crispy fantasy scores here, albeit they're raised through the roof. Giannis 60, Halliburton 55. You think that's enough to get me off these 2 boys? Pause? No pause required. Resume. I'm going with it. Both of them. I told you. Cookie cutter. Check it out. Giannis, 1.64 fantasy points per minute with a 34% usage rate. And Tyrese Halliburton commands a 1.62 fantasy point per minute with a 27% usage rate. So with that in mind, it's time for show and tell. And by the way, we also got story time with Captain Crush coming on later in the video. You don't want to miss it. But first, it's show and tell. Let's go, buddy. I've already been doing some calculations. This is a simple calculator for those of the visually impaired, the people that don't know what a calculator is. You've never done math in your entire existence. This is a calculator, okay? It's free of charge. Just go to Google and type in calculator. Now, let's take 1.64. Let's multiply it times 35 because the median projection for them minutes played should be 35. They should all be playing 35 minutes. If they're not playing 35 minutes, well, chalk it. Because spoiler alert, we're going to need more than 35 minutes, but hopefully we get 38 to 39. In close game scenarios, players are likely to play more minutes, okay? And given what's on the line this tournament, I'm assuming they want to win. Who doesn't want to win a tournament? They want the pride of it, whatever. They want to win. So you can take 1.64 times 35 and you get 57. Not quite enough to cover Giannis's 60.5 fantasy tag. But now let's bump up those minutes just a smidge, shall we? 1.64, multiply it times 38. Bang! 62.32. And it's not out of the realm of possibility that Giannis plays 38 minutes tonight. High point total, close spread, overtime equity, high stakes matchup. Folks, I could 100% see Giannis playing 38 minutes. He won't even need a full 38 to cover. He's going to need right around 36.5 to 37, okay? And the same thing applies for Halliburton. 1.62, multiply it times 35 for Hallie, and you get 56. Even if Hallie just plays 35 minutes, on average, he should clear that fantasy score because remember, his fantasy score is at 55. So, with that in mind, we're taking the 2 studs, the cookie cutter answer today, it's going to be Tyrese Halliburton and Giannis, the 1v1 optimal run back. Boys, you just made the list. Absolutely. We're riding this train until we're forced off. And both of these guys have been wagons. Now, truth be told, because I'm here to speak truth to power, that these aren't my favorite lines for these guys, okay? They're not. I have better lines elsewhere, but I took them last night and they've been since bumped. So now we are forced with this, and this is the best situation in my opinion. Now, you may be from the other side of the coin and you say, Cap, I don't think this game's going over. I think it's soaring under. Okay, well, if you think that, my friend, then you should be taking this right here, less and less. Because let me tell you, if this game happens to be a stinker and does go under, ain't no way these boys are hitting these fantasy scores. This situation is for the Vegas point total going over. If you think it goes under, you take under on those, gentlemen. It's that simple. Now, if you don't want to target the studs, you can argue one Bobby Portis or Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard's always in the mix at 44.5 fantasy score. All green beans the last 5. You hate to see it because Joe Wizard that's putting his mortgage on the line is going to look at the last 5 see green and think that it's a free square. Nothing's free, buddy. I'm telling you right now. Get it out of your vocabulary. All it does is make you look ignorant, okay? Dame Lillard, he literally has a ceiling of 60. Now, if you don't want to take Giannis, you go to Lillard. That would be my advice to you. And if you don't want to go with Halliburton, you scroll on down to Miles Sir Turner. You pray to the Almighty, whatever God you believe in, that he gets 3 to 2 blocks and steals because you're going to need it to cover that fantasy score. You dig? So that's my advice for that game. It's an early game. I'm just doing the cookie cutter solution, the cookie cutter answer, and I'm not going to take too much time discussing it. I showed you the calculator. I showed you the fantasy point per minute. It's simple math, boys, and that's what I'm going with. I'm not trying to overcomplicate this. If they sell, they sell. Oh well, on to the next day. Now, there's another game coming down the pike that has a 230 point total, but they don't have their fantasy scores up yet, so what can we do about that? Well, we just saw LeBron James put on a clinic versus the Phoenix Suns. He put up 31 points. I had his points rebounds. If they put the GOAT's fantasy score up there, you need to strongly consider it because it's in play. Absolutely. The GOAT's fantasy score is always in play, and it's in play again tonight. My favorite Pelican without the bump, it was Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy's been bumped up to 14. I got him at 12.5. Crispy 12.5. Posted it last night for the Discord faithful, that's right. But with all the bumps in mind, my favorite would have to be Jonas Valanciunas, 13.5 real points. I'm going to continue to ride that train till I'm forced off. You want to talk about a wagon? J-Val's been a mini wagon, and I'm not stepping off with this high stakes of a matchup. He should continue to excel. Hopefully he does. Because of all the bumps, it was Trey Murphy. Now I'm tucking in J-Val. Hopefully he doesn't sell me. So J-Val, you just made the list. And then we have, I'm him, Austin Reeves, 14.5 real points. I'm taking a shot. I just got this line the other day at 12.5. Now it's all the way up to 14.5. I'm going right back. I'm going to take a shot on Mr. Reeves. Now remember, my favorite Laker, I'm telling you right now, is LeGoat, LeBron James fantasy, but it's not on the board. If you want to target his PRA or his points assist or points rebounds for LeBron, you can. Without that being in the mix, this is what I'm going with. Austin Reeves, okay? I like it. He's been trending back up. He's not a defensive liability like D'Angelo Russell is, so hopefully he gets a little bit more run. So I will take him. And then Cam Reddish under 7.5 points. That'd be the only under that I take tonight in this whole scenario. I got him under 8 last game and he cashed. And now I think he's still in a difficult matchup. The Pelicans play solid defense. I don't think Cam Reddish is someone who's going to be chucking shots. His whole purpose to be on the court is to play defense. So Cam Reddish, stay under 7.5 points. I'm begging you. So these are my 4 NBA plays. Remember, Jonas and Austin Reeves are not core plays. They're darts, okay? I'm telling you, the core plays are going to be Tyrese and Giannis. Now, let's talk about yesterday. Oh, man, I'm fired up. I'm fired up about yesterday. I came on this YouTube, and I literally told you guys, everyone and their mother was taking Cam Thomas yesterday. I told you, I said everything in my bones. Go back and watch yesterday's video. I said everything in my bones, buddy. I feel it in my bones to take under on Cam Thomas. okay? And yet I leveled myself and made the case to take over with all the other Twitter hive mind morons. And what happened, folks? He literally did exactly what I knew he was going to do and disappoint the masses. That is why I preach as a fundamental to fade the freaking public. They don't know Tuesday from Thursday. I'm telling you, they just aren't it. They're just not hitting. You would be amazed at how many DMs I have on Twitter, Discord, whatever, where people don't have a clue about the sport, much less how to bet the sport or anything else going on, and yet they're still putting coin on this stuff. I don't understand it. I wish I was the house is all I can say, because it's amazing to me how much money these websites make. I can't even imagine. My own self included. It's crazy to me. I'm not sitting here trying to big league you and saying that I win more than you do, but I'm trying to tell you, at least when I'm putting in my bets, I know what I'm betting on. I know what I'm getting myself into. I'm not sitting here with this delusion of grandeur thinking that, I'm putting in a bet, I'm putting in 6 legs, and I'm supposed to get 25x because I paid for a Discord. Tell me when I'm telling lies, because it ain't hitting, okay? You need to know your place and know what you're doing. Do your due diligence. Do your research. I and every other content creator are just one man's opinion. It's always, at the end of the day, your opinion. Nobody's telling you what to take, okay? All of this stuff is opinion. If it's a fact, I will come on here and say the fact of the matter, or I will tell you it's a fact. Everything else is just opinion. So if you don't like my opinion on something, my brother in Christ, don't take it. Or better yet, Uno reverse me. You're not going to hurt my feelings one bit. But you best beware that if my thing does hit, and you do, I'm getting a victory lap in, because that's just the type of guy that I am, Kyle. And speaking of Discord, yesterday, I'm not going to come on here and pretend. It was brutal for the most part. Why? Because we anchored Joel Embiid and Cam Thomas. Joel Embiid soared over everything, okay? But Cam Thomas sold. So once Cam Thomas sold and chalked it early, the process is this. Cam Thomas sells, everyone starts making rage slips, and then we start forcing things, and then the cycle continues where we just keep getting steamrolled. And that's literally what happened, okay? We did have some W's. There were some people in the court that had amazing days. Invasion Choose won 5K following the projection flow charts. It wasn't all bad. But me personally, I didn't take a W yesterday. I'm holding an L. It wasn't that great. Because at the end of the day, it was always Kobe White and Terry Rozier. And here's the deal. The key to all of it, folks, what happens at 2 o'clock Central may not be what's happening at 6 o'clock Central. So you have to be paying attention to breaking news. Attend the live streams if you're in my Discord, which we did yesterday. We did a live stream. I brought back a community slip style, and this was that slip right here. We made this live, okay? Basically what I used to do on TikTok, I gave them, the people in the court, 3 choices. They voted. Some of the crazy SOBs took all the choices and they all hit. Rozier, Embiid, Gobert, Zubac, and Suggs was a reboot, unfortunately, but this was still 5X. We made it, look, 5:56 p.m., okay? I went live at 5:30. We did 30 minutes before lock. We make a live stream. I cover all that stuff. That is the importance of being in a live stream. And on top of that, it's not just about the slip, but it's about everything else that I can tell you. Projection updates, news updates, answer your questions, etc. So I tell you all that because if you want to get in the live stream, yesterday we had 130 people in the paid live stream. It's amazing. You go to CaptainCrush.net, gold package, buy now, get there, and I will tell you when the live stream is. And on top of that, you'll get my projection model and my list of plays. And I'm telling you right now, for what you're being charged, you're getting value. And I don't care what anybody says, I'm putting in the work every single day. You're not going to win every night. If you come in my Discord, I'm telling you this right now. If you come in my Discord expecting to get rich overnight like somebody just did, and I literally just had to kick him, and it breaks my heart, but he literally come in, he lost yesterday, and somehow thought that he was owed something because he had a losing day. Folks, that mentality is poverty, and I won't have it near me, my Discord members, my family, or anywhere in my bubble. I'm not interested in it, okay? You're not in the court or anyone's court, whether it's me, other people that I respect that do it, the DFS Space Club, if you're in any of that stuff, I'm sure they deal with it too. People come in expecting to get rich overnight. That's not the goal. Come in for community, come in to learn. learn, come in to have a projection model, and you will be satisfied. Make your own reads, and you're always going to be more satisfied than tailing Joe Schmo. And in this case, I'm calling myself Joe Schmo, okay? Tell me when I'm telling lies. Now, with my rant out of the way, let's go over to the NFL, and we got a dumpster fire, and I mean dumpster fire of a game. Last couple primetime games, wow, we swept them both. Sunday night sweep, Monday night sweep. Primetime games, they were bangers. What did I tell you guys on this same YouTube channel? I told you. I said, always embrace the unknown and what everyone else is afraid to do. Everyone was afraid of Browning and the Bengals, and what happened? They came out, they got a W, and they won. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nobody saw it coming except one man. And I had overs on those guys. I told you about Jamar Chase. Everybody was afraid. Everybody was taking unders on Jamar Chase. Are you kidding me? It doesn't matter who's throwing the football to Jamar Chase. The man is talented. He's always going to be in play. And when his receiving yards at 54, I don't care if it's Joe Montana from the 80s in there throwing the football or the 90s. You take it. Always embrace the unknown of a showdown slate, a one-game sample size. Anything can happen. So with that in mind, what is my favorite play on the board for this dumpster fire of a game? You hate to see it. Chris Boswell, 7.5 fantasy score or 6.5 kicking points. This is what I got for you folks. It's a trash can of a game, but this is my favorite play. The 6.5 kicking points, I'll take it. If you don't want to take that, you could take the fantasy score. Either one is fine. I'm not sure how either of these two teams score points on paper, but I will say this. It's just like last week, Monday night, when everybody was fading the Bengals, and what happened? It was a banger game, and maybe, just maybe, we get a game like that tonight. I'll be playing that for DraftKings Showdown. I'm going to have all the Bailey Zapp. I'm sorry. I thought this whole time I've been calling him Zap Bailey because it just makes more sense than Bailey Zapp. What kind of name is that, bro? Bro, you got a last name and a first name backwards and you're playing QB? Whatever, man. I give you a salute. Hats off to you, brother. You're making way more money than I'll ever see. But the fact is this, 8.5 fantasy score for a man that's starting QB is just too low. I will take a shot. Can't even say it with a straight face. I'll take a shot on this because it's giving me Jake Browning vibes, okay? 8.5 fantasy score for a starting QB. I know he's trash. Listen, I know his team is trash, but I'm going to take a shot on it anyways. Not in my main slip. My God in heaven, not in my main slip. It's a total dart throw, but I'll have some of it. Whatever, just because it's too low. I can't even say it with a straight face. My favorite play is Boswell, and the other play that I need, Jaylen Warren. Listen, if Najee Harris were to sit, it's Jaylen Warren season and vice versa. Flip a coin, just like I said last Sunday. Both of them ended up hitting, but either one of these two are in play, and they both can get there, all right? The Patriots have a scary front line. The front four, that's scary. I get it, but this is their only sure way to move the football. So Jaylen Warren, maybe you could look at their fantasy scores, but I honestly like Jaylen Warren's rush yards. It's going to be close. It's going to be a sweat, but that's probably my favorite one. I just want to reiterate, for DraftKings purposes, don't be afraid to take shots, even for PrizePicks, folks. Don't be afraid to take a shot on these low fantasy scores like Zapp, even Trubisky, I guess. Ezekiel Elliott, as I just said that, I think his is a little bit too high, but that's also in play. Harris and Johnson, their fantasy scores are in play. Remember what I told you guys. Everybody thinks this is going to be a dumpster fire of a game, and they're probably right. It's terrible teams, but anything can happen. Chad Ryland's fantasy score is also in play. He hasn't been that great. Chris Boswell missed a few, but he's in play. I'm not really sure what I want to do, but I had to tell you guys to take Chris Boswell. He's my favorite, but I will tell you right now, be prepared for the unexpected, okay? Because it happens every primetime game, and that's a fact. Tell me when I'm telling lies. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate you stopping by my channel. Remember, there's only 2 games today. There's not a lot going on right now on the board, so you have to be in the live stream. Those of you, I tell you guys this every day. I'm preaching to the choir. If you're in my gold package Discord, and all of you, most of you are, attend the live stream. It's imperative. That is where you will get your biggest ROI, your return on investment. I'm telling you right now, I better see you guys in there, or I'm throwing hands. And when Captain Crutch throws hands, people get hurt. Good luck in all your contests tonight, folks. Here's the salute, and as always, let's crush.